Hi, my name is Maya and I'm an undergraduate academic coach at Study Lab. Today I'll be going over ways to identify and dissect thesis statements in scholarly and academic articles. What is a thesis statement? A thesis statement is a declarative statement often addressing a question. It is the central argument or claim that the author is trying to prove. A thesis can be explicit or implied. An explicit thesis is directly stated and typically found at the beginning of an article. An implied thesis, however, is more indirectly stated and left for the reader to infer after reading the entire article. While the thesis may answer a question, the thesis itself is a statement and not framed as a question. The thesis tends to begin with declarative phrasing such as, "the author argues," or "I argue that." The article abstract oftentimes includes the thesis statement, but thesis statements do not always appear at the beginning of a paper. It can sometimes show up in the concluding paragraphs. This is an example of an introductory paragraph in The Invention of the Passport written by John Torby. This is a dense piece of writing, but declarative statements can be used to help guide in identifying the thesis. Statements like, "Karl Marx sought," "Max Weber argued," and "this book seeks" all identify declarative statements that may lead to a thesis. The end of this section in bold highlights the main argument of this text. When reading this bolded section, it can help to define unknown key terms to better understand the thesis. This example thesis states, "This book seeks to demonstrate the proposition that modern states and the international state system of which they are a part have expropriated from individuals and private entities the legitimate means of movement, particularly through by no means exclusively across international boundaries." Defining unknown key terms can help to better understand the thesis. Expropriated and private entities are two terms that we can redefine to better understand. Expropriated means to take away. An entity is an independent thing. A private entity is a corporation, company, organization, or nonprofit that is not a unit of government. After dissecting the thesis, it can be written in a much more comprehensive way. Modern states and the international state system have taken away the ability for people and private organizations to move across international boundaries. If you have any more questions, feel free to contact the Study Lab. Thanks for listening.